first came to Salem with my wife and my children, I was a young dentist, and first thing I did is I went to the water department to find out if the water was fluoridated. Okay, and it was not, and it had lost before in a vote of the people. And Willard Stone was the head of the department along with B. Urey, and they were looking for a young, interject, young dentist who would lead the charge on that. That was in 1964, where they had another flood that year. And I led that charge, okay? And I said I would only do it if I had a broad-based public educational process, whereby I would get a bunch of dentists together to get out and really campaign. Eugene, I was told to sneak it in by the head dentist in the state of Oregon. I forgot his name. Eugene snuck it in, and then 6 months later they kicked it out. We went. It was the biggest issue in '64 other than the flood, okay? And it won, and now you have fluoridation in your water the last 50 years. Bob Lindsay, towards the end of the campaign, came on and led a lot of the effort towards the end, and he should get a lot of credit for his role in the fluoridation effort as well. During that time, Ward 3, the Elsinore was sitting, and it was subject to being torn down under urban renewal.
And that was your ward?
That was my ward.
Okay.
And so I said, don't tear that one down, even though it was in bad shape, you know. So again, I brought 6 people together in my dental office, and I said, we're going to save the Elsinore Theater. And they said, really? You know, it's owned by Tom Moyer, and it's falling apart. And I said, yeah, you can't let that one go down. So we began. We began the effort there, and ultimately brought a lot of people together, and in the early 80s, we lost in a vote, a public vote. We had a non-profit. We took it to the public, and we lost badly. There was a recession on at that time.
You lost the vote?
The vote of the public
to
buy the Elsinore Theater.
To buy it, okay.
And there's 3 major reasons why we lost. The recession, the city manager, and the art people. Okay? The city manager didn't want the Elsinore. It was a pain in the neck to him. So he said, yeah, let's put air conditioning in it. Let's really do all these things. He drove the price up, right? The people were willing to support it up to $2 million, but once it got beyond $2 million, he lost support. He brought it up beyond $2 million himself. And then the art people, God bless them, wanted to have a lobby under the theater, underneath all where the seats are, and that drove the price way up. So the price went way up, and the people voted that down, and badly, and it hurt. I mean, it really hurt. The hardest project I've ever done is to pick the pieces up. That was very hard. It was after 3 months, and I thought, well, it's still there, you know, and how can I pick this up? And I brought something. I went through my file the other day. I'm going to leave it with you. I even wrote a little poem because I was filled emotionally with the loss, right? But I was saying it's coming back. We're going to come back. So I'll leave it with you. And basically, it just said, I gave it to all the members. I said, some dreams are endless. With a flutter of an eyelash, a dream can change from what might have been to what someday will be. Of the day, I got a big lump in my throat. We were cleaning the theater up on a day like this, cold day, and I was really cold, and I had a cup of coffee in my hand to warm it up, and I said, I was dirty, and I said, what am I doing here, you know, what am I doing here? And then all of a sudden the stage opened up, and some young people got out on the stage. I don't know where they came from. they put a boombox down and they started dancing. And I tell you, I just, even thinking about it now, it gets me. Because I said, that's why.
That's why.
That's why. And during that time, there was a lot of resistance from staff to move forward on the Riverfront Park. And I'm reminded, my first week in office, I was sitting at the mayor's desk, and I invited the city manager, Larry Wacker, in, and we had gone fishing together. You know, we were friends. And I said to Larry, I said, we're going to have to get the Riverfront Park going. And he gave me a number of reasons why you can't do that. There was a legal reasons. There were all sorts of environmental reasons. And then I said to him again, I said, well, and he said, Roger, he said, we can't do it. And I said, well, first of all, Larry, it's no longer Roger. You know, it's Mayor. There's a difference now. And he said, oh, okay. And then I said, we're going to get that park going. And he said, well, I just told you why we can't do that. And I said, Larry, we're going to get the park going. And he said, didn't you not understand me? And I said, well, let me ask you a question. What are you going to do about that guy that's going to be out in front of your window tomorrow with a sign that said he doesn't like you? He said, who is that going to be? And I said, it's going to be me. And he laughed. And I said, well, you laugh, but 8:30 I'll be out there tomorrow morning because I intend to get that park going. I went to 20,000 doors, and my friends went to another 20, and I know what the people want. And he just stood up, and Ed Jokins, head of the park, he told me, he went up and opened his door and said, Ed, get that JD Park going. He shut the door and opened it again. He says, it's going yet. And so that is the attitude that I had. I had the attitude that this is the will of the people, and that park's going to move. And it's not going to be filled with large businesses. It's going to be filled with open land. It's going to be something that the people will love. So all through that process of doing that park, there was resistance from DEQ, everybody. They told us that you had to have a standard that met as if you were going to have houses with children eating in the dirt. And I said, well, we're not doing that, we're doing a park, and it's a different standard. And they said, well, it's too bad, that's the standard. And I said, well, at the next council meeting, I went up to them and I said, I've just got the 5th vote, and we're moving forward, and if you want to see us in court, we'll be there. And then they went huddled, and they came back and said, no, wait a minute. I said, okay, we'll let it go by. And I remember 6 months later, they said they don't know why they did that. But those are the kind of barriers that confront a mayor when you proceed and you hit these walls. What you have to do is say, what's the right thing to do? What should happen here? And am I a leader or not?
Didn't have.
I think every mayor learns, first of all, a couple things. One is the people of the community are represent much more than you ever thought. You come into office with 3 or 4 ideas. I run on these 3 or 4 ideas. You get in office and there's all these ideas and all these people. I remember the people from the Asians invited me to a get-together, and I think, oh, okay, there'll be 20 people there, you know, and I brought my brother along. I said, it won't take long. I walked in there, and there's 400 and 2 pigs all being roasted, you know, and people dancing, and they cut off this special meat for me. And where'd you come from? Koreans. You know, lots of Koreans I didn't know they were here. And that's where that Sister City program started. They came in to see me, and when I was mayor, and they said every year we get rejected from a Sister City relationship. And we have one with Japan, and we have one with Sweden, and so forth. And I said, but we just want to let you know we'd like to have it some year. And I said, why don't we do it now? And they said, really? I said, why not? Trade's good. So they started the sister city, and Mike picked up on it after that, and that's how that started. It's a matter of opening your mind to what your community really is. The other thing, I think, is leadership. And Salem has what we call a weak mayor, strong city manager. Portland has a strong mayor, no city manager, right? And I remember my first week or month sitting at a table with all the staff around me talking about some issue. And some decision came up, and everyone was quiet. And I think we were all waiting for somebody to take the lead, like the city manager, Then I realized that nobody was doing that. So to me, I said, oh, you just have to pick up the reins and do something. So I just picked them up and went, let's do this. And they said, okay, and they went that way. So a weak mayor can be a strong mayor. A strong mayor can be a weak mayor. And when you realize that, as long as you do the will of the people, and they're not doing what your vested interest is, as long as you do that, you can exercise leadership, and you should. And that's why you get things moving along on the Riverfront Park. That's why you get Fluoridation in there. That's why you get the Elsinore Theater, things of that nature. And I know there's many things that I would like to have done that I didn't know about or I didn't pay enough attention to. But those are the kind of things I think that mayors, senators, and presidents, Cherry Frank told me, are people that should exercise good leadership. They're the ones that can get stuff done. So I came